Now we're going to talk about Sir Isaac Newton, deep focus, daily schedule, and life lessons. So this is part 2. Okay.
Discoveries and how Isaac Newton, deep focus, daily schedule, and life lessons, part 2. In the previous section, we discussed Newton's childhood, environment, and basic lifestyle. In this part, we will go deeper into how he actually worked every day, how many hours he studied, how he developed his discoveries, and how his life compares with modern life. 1. Newton's possible daily schedule, hour by hour. Historians cannot know his exact daily schedule, but based on historical records we can reconstruct a typical day during his most productive years. Early morning, 5 to 7 a.m. Newton often woke up very early in the morning. Morning activities likely included reading mathematics or philosophy books, reviewing notes from the previous day, observing nature, writing calculations. Morning was extremely quiet in the 17th century. Without traffic, phones, or noise, mornings were perfect for thinking. Breakfast was usually very simple, sometimes just bread, milk, porridge. Sometimes Newton even skipped breakfast because he was thinking about problems. Morning study, 7 to 12 p.m. This was Newton's deep work period. He could spend 4 to 5 hours continuously studying. Activities included solving mathematical equations, writing theories, designing experiments, reading scientific works. During this time he worked with intense concentration. There were no interruptions like emails, messages, phone calls, social media. This allowed extremely deep thinking. Midday, 12 to 2 p.m. Newton might attend lectures or meet other scholars at Trinity College, Cambridge. Lunch was simple. Vegetables, bread, cheese, sometimes meat. People in the 1600s generally ate fresh natural food without modern processed ingredients. Afternoon research, 2 to 7 p.m. Afternoons were often used for experiments, writing manuscripts, building instruments, observing nature. During these hours Newton performed famous experiments involving light and prisms. He discovered that white light is made of many colors. Evening study, 7 to 11 p.m. At night Newton often continued working by candlelight. Candles were precious, so scholars used them carefully. During this time Newton reviewed calculations, wrote scientific papers, refined ideas. Sometimes he worked late into the night when deeply absorbed in a problem. Sleep, around midnight. Newton likely slept about 5 to 7 hours per night. However, during intense research he sometimes slept much less. 2. Newton's deep thinking method. Newton did not solve problems quickly. Instead, he practiced long concentration. His thinking process worked like this. Choose one difficult problem. Think about it continuously for days or weeks. Write many pages of calculations. Test ideas through experiments. Refine the theory slowly. This process is called deep thinking, something extremely rare today. 3. The famous apple story. One of the most famous scientific stories involves Newton and an apple tree. At his home in Woolsthorpe Manor, Newton observed an apple falling from a tree. Instead of simply watching it, he asked, "Why does the apple fall downward?" This question led him to the concept of gravity. He realized that the same force pulling the apple down also keeps the moon orbiting Earth. This idea became the law of universal gravitation. 4. Newton's major discoveries. Newton's discoveries changed the world forever. 1. Laws of motion. These 3 laws explain how objects move. They are still used in engineering, physics, space science, Mechanics. 2. Law of gravity. Newton discovered that every object in the universe attracts every other object with gravity. This explained falling objects, planetary motion, ocean tides. 3. Calculus. Newton developed a new mathematical system called calculus. Calculus is now used in physics, engineering, economics, artificial intelligence, space exploration. 4. Optics. Newton studied light and discovered white light contains many colors. Prisms separate light into a spectrum. 5. Reflecting telescope. Newton invented a new telescope design using mirrors instead of lenses. This became the basis for modern telescopes. 5. Newton's personality. Newton was extremely curious, highly disciplined, quiet and introverted, deeply thoughtful. He preferred solitude rather than social gatherings. Some historians even say Newton could spend days without much conversation, completely focused on research. 6. Newton's distractions. Even though Newton had fewer modern distractions, he still faced challenges. His distractions included political debates at Cambridge, religious controversies, rivalry with other scientists, academic disputes. For example, he had a famous rivalry with Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz over who invented calculus first. 7. Newton's living conditions. Newton's house was simple compared to modern homes. It likely included stone walls, wooden furniture, fireplaces, candle lighting, small study rooms. There were no modern comforts such as electricity, central heating, refrigerators, washing machines, computers. Life required more effort for everyday tasks. 8. How lack of technology helped Newton. Interestingly, not having modern technology may have helped Newton focus. Reasons include silence. The 1600s world was quiet. No traffic noise, no electronic devices. This helped deep thinking. No information overload. Newton read only a small number of books. Today we face too much information. Too many sources can actually reduce clarity. No instant entertainment. Modern people spend hours on social media, video streaming, games. Newton had none of these distractions. So his mind focused on big questions about the universe. 9. What Newton would think about modern life. If Newton lived today, he would probably be amazed by computers, satellites, space travel, i.e., internet. However, he might also notice that modern people struggle with attention and focus. 10. The biggest lesson from Newton. Newton once humbly said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." This means he built his knowledge by learning from earlier thinkers. But his greatest strength was extraordinary focus. Final motivation. Newton achieved greatness using candlelight, handwritten notes, simple instruments, deep concentration. Today we have powerful computers, instant knowledge, advanced technology. Yet the key ingredient remains the same. Focus thinking. White heavy checkmark motivational takeaway. If Newton could unlock the secrets of gravity and motion with candlelight and handwritten calculations, then a focused person today can achieve extraordinary success with the tools available now. If you want, I can also show you something fascinating next. 10 study habits of Isaac Newton that can make anyone extremely successful today. This is very powerful for students, researchers, and entrepreneurs.
Okay, so I hope you like this video. We were talking about Sir Isaac Newton life, how he studied and how he did research, what was his home environment, what was his lifestyle, what distraction he had, what facility he had. He actually didn't have electricity. So if no electricity, then nothing else. No gadgets, no smartphone, no internet, no TV, no news, no social media, right? He didn't have anything, but he still did so much work in science. Okay, we hope we learn something from him. Okay, thank you for watching.